The NFL is heated right now. Rex Ryan just got called out for lying about Shedeur Sanders' work ethic. And word is, the league is threatening action against the former coach turned analyst. Did Rex just go too far with his false narrative?
Stefanski is an outstanding coach, all right? But why the hell isn't he putting Shedeur Sanders? We're all waiting to see the Shedeur Sanders be the guy or Gabriel, whatever. Something's missing. Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback.
Why aren't you in the front row? Like that is inferring that the kid is not working as hard as he should be. Am I wrong?
Well, that's what it sounds like. And if he's talking to someone in the building, I don't think he would.
How the hell does he know?
I know. So he's got connections with Coach. You know, what he's saying is more damning than anything I've said, right? Because he apparently has inside knowledge of something that's going on.
Rex Ryan just got exposed for straight-up lying about Shedeur Sanders' work ethic, and now the NFL world is coming for his neck. The receipts are in, the videos dropped, and what we're seeing behind closed doors in Cleveland is making Rex look like a complete fool. But here's the twist nobody's talking about. This isn't just about Shedeur proving haters wrong. This is about something way deeper in how the NFL machine operates, and why they want players like Shedeur to shut up and fall in line. The question is, should he?
I'd like to draw you to Exhibit A. Some footage behind the scenes inside the meeting room of the Cleveland Browns, and I recognize him. That's Miles Garrett. And a lot of big guys, strong guys, fast guys, fat guys. Man, what he doing with his hair? Oh, look who that is. That's Shedeur Sanders. And last time I checked, that's the front row. Miles Garrett's there as well. Rex Ryan, let me bring you to Exhibit B. Let's click on this. As we will see now, this looks like maybe a group meeting. I don't think this is team meeting because look at those cheap chairs. Oh, yes, this is team meeting. But we're on the road right now, probably a preseason game. And once again, I see a lot of guys, big, fast, strong. But that would be Shedeur Sanders. Okay, Rex Ryan, let's bring you to Exhibit C. Oh, it's kind of hard to read with all these bloods in this neighborhood writing on the walls. No, it's not, because look at this. That's Coach Kevin Stefanski. And right there, chopping it up, Joe Flacco in the building. And that is Shedeur Sanders. Head down, looking at the notes, the game plan for the game. Boy.
So Rex Ryan just stepped in it. Like really stepped in it. And the internet is not letting him forget it. You know how sometimes people talk with so much confidence that you almost believe them? That's what Rex did when he went on air and basically called Shedeur Sanders lazy, unfocused, and, oh yeah, an embarrassment to his family name.
Ryan, like, I've been through it, bro. You're gonna make this hell. You're gonna make this hard on yourself. Oh, your daddy, he made it harder on himself too, but he was so good he was able to overcome all of that. But if y'all go back in history, even Deion Sanders had to throw water on a reporter before just because he was so loud and proud and good, and they still were hating on him. So Rex Ryan's like, Doc, I wasn't even the Deion of coaching, and they try to get me, but I have my accolades, so I'm trying to tell you, hey, why don't you just chill, earn it, and then you can do what you want to do. But Shedeur's like, that ain't me. That ain't authentic. That ain't the Sanders way. That ain't who I am. And I'm with Shedeur on that one. Like, I'm not switching it up. You don't want to give me an opportunity? That's fine. I'm glad I am not the type that talks like that before I walk like that. But that's just who I am. But if you are that person, Shedeur Sanders, I don't think you need to switch it up. Y'all catch the difference? So just be yourself. At the same time, play the game within the game, and the game is you can use, and I'm going to get out of here on this, you can use perception in your favor if you're Shedeur. Because the NFL will always listen to the fans. They will always listen to that public opinion. You don't believe me? Whenever there's a quarterback controversy.
Strong words, right? Especially coming from a guy who's supposed to be a professional analyst. But here's where it gets spicy. The Cleveland Browns just dropped footage that completely obliterates everything Rex said. We're talking receipts on receipts, video evidence, behind-the-scenes content that shows Shedeur doing exactly what Rex claimed he wasn't doing. And now people are asking, did Rex Ryan just lie on national television about Shedeur Sanders' work ethic? And if he did, what does the NFL plan to do about it? Let's rewind to where this mess started. Rex Ryan, former head coach, current analyst, and guy who's never been afraid to speak his mind, was on ESPN breaking down rookie and backup quarterbacks in the league. When Shedeur's name came up, Rex went full attack mode. He said, and I quote, "Why the hell isn't Kevin Stefanski putting Shedeur Sanders in? We're all waiting to see this kid be the guy. Something's missing. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like he's already a starting quarterback, with his arms crossed like this." Then Rex got even more personal. "Get your ass in the front row and study. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now." Whew, that's a lot. Rex basically painted a picture of Shedeur as this cocky, lazy, entitled backup who talks big but doesn't put in the work. The kind of player who's riding his daddy's name and not earning his stripes. And you know what? That narrative would have stuck if the Browns didn't have cameras rolling 24/7. Because just days after Rex's rant, Cleveland's social media team started posting content that made Rex look absolutely ridiculous. First came Exhibit A, team meeting footage. Massive room, big bodies everywhere. Miles Garrett, defensive linemen, the whole squad. And right there, front and center, Shedeur Sanders, sitting in the front row, not the back, not slouched with his phone out. Front row, locked in, taking notes. Then came Exhibit B. Different meeting, different day. Looks like a road game setup, cheaper chairs, probably a hotel ballroom. And once again, there's Shedeur. Front row, focused, head down in the playbook. Then the knockout punch, Exhibit C. A shot of Coach Kevin Stefanski going over the game plan with Joe Flacco, the veteran, and who's right there in the mix? Shedeur Sanders. Head down, studying the scheme, chopping it up with the coaches. So now we gotta ask, what the hell was Rex Ryan talking about? Because the footage doesn't lie. Shedeur's doing exactly what you'd want a young quarterback to do. He's in the building, he's in the film room, he's sitting where he's supposed to sit, and he's learning from veterans like Joe Flacco. That's textbook development. That's what every coaching staff wants to see. And yet, Rex went on national TV and said the opposite. That's a problem. Now here's where this gets even more complicated. Because it's not just about Rex being wrong. It's about why Rex said what he said, and what it reveals about how the NFL views players like Shedeur Sanders. See, there's this old-school mentality in football that says you gotta earn the right to have a personality. You gotta be quiet, humble, keep your head down, and grind in silence until you're the starter, until you're making plays, until you're leading the team to wins. Then, and only then, can you talk your talk. That's the code. That's how guys like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers operated early in their careers. They waited their turn. They learned. They didn't make noise. But Shedeur Sanders? He's not built like that. And honestly, why should he be? This is a kid who grew up watching his father, Deion Sanders, change the game by being loud, confident, and unapologetically himself. Deion talked trash before games, backed it up on the field, and became one of the greatest to ever do it. That's Shedeur's blueprint. That's his DNA. So when people like Rex Ryan say, sit down, be quiet, earn it first, Shedeur's looking at them like, why? My dad didn't do it that way, and he's a Hall of Famer. And that's the real tension here. The NFL is militaristic. It's structured like the military. Chain of command, respect the process, fall in line, Do what you're told. You don't walk into boot camp with your chest puffed out talking about how great you are. You shut up, you follow orders, and you earn your rank. The NFL wants that same energy from its players, especially young guys. They want you humble until you've proven yourself on Sundays. But Shedeur's generation, they're not wired that way anymore. Confidence is currency. Attention is power. Social media rewards the bold. And Shedeur's betting on himself by staying true to who he is, even if it rubs old-school guys like Rex the wrong way. But here's what people are missing in all of this. Shedeur is putting in the work. The footage proves it. He's in the meetings. He's studying the playbook. He's sitting with the vets. He's doing everything right behind the scenes. So why does Rex have a problem with him? Simple. Because Shedeur's also talking his talk publicly. He's confident on social media. He's got the swagger. He carries himself like he's already that guy, even though he's third string. And to Rex, that's disrespectful to the process. That's putting the cart before the horse. But let me ask you this. If Shedeur was doing all this in silence, would anyone care? Would anyone even know his name right now? Probably not. The reality is, in 2025, silence doesn't build your brand. Confidence does. Personality does. Being authentic does. And Shedeur is smart enough to know that. He's not switching up who he is just because he's a backup. He's staying true to himself. And when his number gets called, the world's already going to know who he is. That's strategic. That's modern. And honestly, that's smart business. Now, the question everyone's asking is, should Shedeur dial it back? Should he take Rex's advice and be more humble until he earns the starting spot? Or should he keep doing what he's doing and trust that his talent will speak for itself when it matters? And honestly, I'm with Shedeur on this one. Why should he change who he is just because of his depth chart position? You gonna tell me that if Shedeur was the starter and balling out, people would have a problem with his confidence? Nah, they'd love it. They'd call him a leader. They'd say he's got that dog in him. But because he's a backup, suddenly the same confidence is disrespectful and embarrassing. That's wild to me, and let's keep it real. Deion Sanders dealt with the exact same thing. Deion was loud, flashy, confident from day one. He talked trash, he backed it up, and he became a legend. But even Deion had haters. Even Deion had people questioning him, testing him, trying to tear him down. There was literally a moment where Deion had to throw water on a reporter because the disrespect got so out of hand, and this was after he proved himself on the field. So if Primetime himself, arguably the most talented defensive back ever, caught heat for being confident, what chance does Shedeur have? And more importantly, why should Shedeur change his approach when history shows that even the greats face the same criticism? Here's the reality. Rex Ryan knows this. He lived it. Rex was the loud coach. He was the guy who guaranteed Super Bowl wins. He was the guy who talked trash in press conferences and backed it up. Well, sometimes. Rex took the New York Jets to back-to-back AFC championship games. That's legit. But he also never won a Super Bowl. And because he was so loud about his expectations, every loss hit different. Every failure was magnified. The media roasted him. Fans turned on him. And eventually, his coaching career fizzled out because the talk was bigger than the results. So when Rex tells Shedeur to be quiet and earn it first, he's speaking from experience. He's saying, look, I tried the loud route, and it made my life harder. I wasn't Deion Sanders of coaching. I was good, but I wasn't that good. And because I talked so much, every stumble became a headline. Rex is genuinely trying to warn Shedeur that the path he's on is going to be rocky. The haters are going to be louder. The critics are going to be harsher. And if Shedeur doesn't back it up immediately when he gets his shot, the NFL media machine is going to chew him up and spit him out. But here's the thing. Shedeur already knows that. He's watched his dad navigate that same minefield and come out a Hall of Famer. He's seen Coach Prime get criticized, doubted, and disrespected at every level, only to prove everyone wrong. Shedeur's learned from that. He's not naive. He knows what he's signing up for. The difference is, Shedeur believes his talent is going to back up his words. And honestly, the tape doesn't lie. This kid can play. He's got the arm. He's got the poise. He's got the football IQ. When his opportunity comes, he's going to be ready. And that brings us back to the original question. Did Rex Ryan lie about Shedeur's work ethic? Because the footage shows Shedeur doing everything right. He's in the front row. He's studying with the coaches. He's learning from Joe Flacco. So either Rex didn't do his homework before going on air, or he intentionally misrepresented Shedeur to fit a narrative. Either way, it's not a good look for Rex, and the internet is dragging him for it. Good look for Rex, and the internet is dragging him for it. But wait, here's where this story takes another turn. Because the real question isn't just about Rex being wrong, it's about why the NFL system protects guys like Rex when they push false narratives, but punishes players like Shedeur for just being themselves. Think about it. Rex goes on national TV, calls Shedeur an embarrassment, questions his work ethic, and faces zero consequences. But if Shedeur claps back, if Shedeur defends himself publicly, suddenly he's a distraction. Suddenly he's not coachable. Suddenly teams start questioning if he's worth the headache. That double standard is insane. The NFL wants its players to be personalities when it's convenient for the league. They want you talking trash in promotional videos. They want you doing touchdown dances for highlights. They want you being charismatic in interviews to drive ratings. But the second, you have a personality that challenges the system, that doesn't fit the mold, that refuses to fall in line, now you're a problem. Now you're too cocky. Now you need to learn your place. And that's exactly what's happening to Shedeur right now. But here's why I think Shedeur's approach is actually genius, even if it's risky. Perception is reality in the NFL. And right now, Shedeur has split the NFL fan base down the middle. There are people who love him, ride for him, and can't wait to see him succeed. And there are people who absolutely despise him, who want to see him fail just so they can say, "I told you so." But you know what both groups have in common? They're both watching. They're both invested. They both care. And when Shedeur finally gets his shot, when he finally steps on that field as a starter, the ratings are going to be insane because everyone wants to see what happens next. So let's talk about what the NFL is really mad about here. Because on the surface, it looks like Rex Ryan just had a bad take and got exposed. But when you dig deeper, there's something bigger happening. The NFL has always been about control. Control the narrative. Control the players. Control how the game is marketed to the world. And players like Shedeur Sanders, players who refuse to play by the old rules, they mess up that control. They create chaos. They force the league to deal with questions they don't want to answer. Here's what I mean. The NFL promotes this idea that you gotta earn everything. You start at the bottom, you work your way up, you respect the hierarchy, and then you get rewarded. It's the American dream packaged in shoulder pads. But what happens when a kid like Shedeur shows up and says, "Nah, I'm not waiting. I'm betting on myself now"? What happens when he refuses to shrink himself just because he's not the starter yet? The system doesn't know how to handle that. Because if Shedeur succeeds doing it his way, it proves that the old gatekeeping mentality was always BS. It proves that you don't have to be humble and quiet to make it. You can be loud, confident, and unapologetically yourself from day one. And that's dangerous to the NFL structure. Because if young players start believing they don't have to follow the traditional path, the league loses leverage. They lose the ability to keep rookies in their place. They lose the militaristic culture that's been the foundation of football for decades. So when Rex Ryan goes on TV and tries to publicly shame Shedeur for not falling in line, he's not just giving his personal opinion. He's reinforcing the system. He's sending a message to every young player watching. Don't be like Shedeur. Be quiet. Know your role. Wait your turn. But here's the beautiful irony in all of this. Rex Ryan himself didn't follow that path. Rex was the loud, brash, trash-talking coach who guaranteed Super Bowls before he even had a ring. He was the guy who built his entire brand on being bold and different. So for him to now tell Shedeur to do the opposite? That's hypocritical. And people are calling him out for it. Because Rex benefited from being himself, from standing out, from being memorable. He just wants Shedeur to take a safer, quieter route, because Rex knows how hard it is when the spotlight's on you, and you don't deliver immediately. But Shedeur's not Rex. Shedeur's got something Rex never had. He's got the Sanders bloodline. He's got a father who literally wrote the book on how to be confident, dominant, and successful while everyone's doubting you. Deion Sanders didn't wait for permission to be great. He declared it from day one and then proved it on the field. And that's the energy Shedeur inherited. That's the mentality he's operating with. So when people ask, why doesn't Shedeur just humble himself and earn it quietly? The answer is simple, because that's not who he is. And more importantly, that's not what works in 2025. The game has changed. Social media changed it. NIL deals changed it. Player empowerment changed it. In today's NFL, your brand matters just as much as your stats. Your story matters just as much as your tape. And Shedeur understands that better than most. He knows that by being vocal, by being confident, by staying true to himself, he's building a narrative that's bigger than football. When he finally gets his shot and balls out, the story isn't just backup becomes starter. It's the kid who everyone doubted, who everyone criticized, who refused to change, proved them all wrong. That's a way better story. That's the kind of story that sells jerseys, gets endorsement deals, and builds legacies. Now, let's talk about what happens next. Because Rex Ryan getting exposed is one thing, but the real test for Shedeur is what he does when his number gets called. All the confidence in the world means nothing if you can't back it up on the field. And that's the risk Shedeur's taking by being so loud now. If he struggles when he gets his opportunity, the criticism is going to be brutal. Every incomplete pass will be a headline. Every loss will be proof that he was all talk. The haters are going to have a field day. But if Shedeur comes out and dominates, if he steps on that field and plays like the Sanders name demands, then this whole conversation flips. Suddenly, Rex Ryan looks even worse. Suddenly, every analyst who doubted Shedeur looks foolish. Suddenly, the narrative becomes, why did we ever doubt him? And that's what Shedeur's betting on. He's betting that his talent is undeniable. He's betting that when the lights are brightest, he's gonna shine. And honestly, based on what we've seen from him at Colorado, based on his football IQ, based on his pedigree, I wouldn't bet against him. Here's something else people need to understand about Shedeur's situation. The Cleveland Browns didn't draft him high. They didn't invest major capital in him. So the pressure to play him isn't the same as it would be for a first-round pick. Kevin Stefanski can afford to let Shedeur develop behind Joe Flacco and Deshaun Watson without rushing him into action. That's actually a good thing for Shedeur's long-term development. He gets to learn the NFL game at a slower pace. He gets to study veteran quarterbacks. He gets to absorb the playbook without the pressure of needing to win games right now. But the optics of being a third-string quarterback while talking like you're already the guy? That's what rubs people the wrong way. That's what made Rex Ryan's comments resonate with some fans. Because in their minds, if you're not playing, you should be invisible. You should be a ghost in the building, just grinding and waiting. But Shedeur's not built that way. And I respect it, because confidence isn't something you turn on and off like a light switch. You either got it or you don't. And Shedeur's got it. So here's the question I want you to think about as we wrap this up. Is Shedeur Sanders hurting his career by being so confident before he's proven anything in the NFL? Or is he playing the long game by building his brand now so that when he does get his opportunity, he's already a household name? Because there's an argument for both sides. The traditionalists will tell you he's making it harder on himself. The new school thinkers will tell you he's being strategic. And honestly, I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. Shedeur's approach is risky, but it's authentic. And in a league where so many players feel like they have to be robots, where they can't speak their minds or show personality until they've earned it, Shedeur refusing to fall in line is refreshing. It's bold. It's different. And whether you love him or hate him for it, you're paying attention. You're watching. You're invested in what happens next. And that's exactly what he wants. Now, as for Rex Ryan, he's gotta take this L. The footage doesn't lie. Shedeur was in the front row. He was studying with the coaches. He was doing everything Rex claimed he wasn't doing. So either Rex spoke without checking his facts, or he intentionally misrepresented Shedeur to fit his narrative. Either way, it's not a good look. And the NFL community is holding him accountable for it. As they should. As they should. But here's the twist. Rex might have actually done Shedeur a favor. Because now, Shedeur's got even more motivation. Now, when he steps on that field, he's not just playing for himself or his team. He's playing to prove Rex Ryan wrong. He's playing to shut up every critic who said he talks too much. He's playing to honor the Sanders name and show that confidence isn't arrogance when you can back it up. And that kind of chip on your shoulder? That's dangerous. That's the kind of fuel that turns good players into great ones. So let me ask you one more time. Should Shedeur Sanders change his approach? Should he be quieter, more humble, more traditional? Or should he keep being himself, keep betting on his talent, and trust that when his moment comes, he'll prove everyone wrong? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know where y'all stand on this. Are you Team Shedeur or Team Rex? Do you think confidence before production is a problem, or do you think it's smart branding? Let's debate it. At the end of the day, this story is bigger than just Rex Ryan versus Shedeur Sanders. It's about two different generations of football clashing. It's about the old guard trying to protect the traditional way of doing things and the new wave refusing to play by those rules. It's about control, authenticity, and what it really means to earn your place in the NFL. And no matter which side you're on, one thing's for sure. We're all going to be watching when Shedeur finally gets his shot, because that's when we'll know for sure if the confidence was justified or if Rex Ryan was right all along. But real talk, I'm riding with Shedeur on this one. Not because I think Rex is a hater, but because I believe in betting on yourself. I believe in staying true to who you are, even when the world tells you to change. And I believe that when Shedeur's number gets called, he's going to show out. The receipts are already there. The work ethic is there. The talent is there. Now it's just about timing and opportunity. If you made it this far, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Let me know if you think Shedeur's approach is genius or reckless. Are you Team Confidence or Team Earn It First? Let's keep this conversation going. And stay tuned, because when Shedeur finally steps on that field as a starter, we're breaking down every throw, every play, and every moment. You don't want to miss it. Until next time, stay locked in, stay authentic, and keep betting on yourself. Peace. Peace.